age was full of life and optimism early in the game when he looked down the barrel of Jim Rice's bat and without any hesitation struck him out. Moments later, however, Dave Henderson aged him, and Dwight Evans added the weight of more years to his shoulders, and his youthful hopes were dashed 9-3. Dwight Gooden, the loser in Game 2. Bruce Hurst is a left-hander and is 28 years old, but there was that game against Minnesota on May 31st when he felt much older than 28. He suffered a serious groin injury that would sideline him for over 6 weeks. But in October, he felt younger than that when he struck out Len Dykstra. And he felt even better than that when the Mets won out in the 9th to give him a victory in Game 1. The kid from Florida and the left-hander from Utah, they meet tonight in Game 5 of the 1986 World Series.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Robinson singing our national, and the shortstop Rafael Santana, and of course the pitcher Dwight Gooden.
The defense, well, the lineup is exactly the one he's been using. Rice in left field, Henderson in center field, Armas still hurt, Evans in right field, Boggs, Owen, Barrett, and what a series Barrett is having. Buckner at first base, Gedman behind the plate, and Bruce Hurst on the mound.
Bruce Hurst, the 28-year-old left-hander from Utah, with a record of 13-8. But he had 4 shutouts here at Fenway Park, and he was 8-3 at Fenway with 7 complete games. He is 2-0 in postseason play, 1 in the League Championship Series, 1 in the World Series, with an earned run average of 1.5. So he becomes a most formidable foe in Game 5.
Got a great fork ball. He's a strikeout pitcher, as indicated by, in fact, for a while there, he was way past Clemens until he got hurt. A good fastball, curveball, the forkball. We saw him against Toronto on a game of the week. He really looked tough. And he's got a good move, so that'll be, I think, a factor, Vin, trying to hold these base runners on, because I think you got to believe that Dykstra and Tuffle are going to try to get on and get the big guys going, because Dykstra has been some story in this series.
It'll be interesting indeed. 39 pickoffs in the last 4 years. So it'll be Len Dykstra, then Tim Tuffle and Keith Hernandez. And we're about ready to go in Game 5. A light shower visited Fenway, moved out, and it looks like we're ready. Dykstra with a home run last night and led off the game against Oil Can Boyd with a home run. He had 3 leadoff home runs this year. Boggs up in on the grass, and here we go. Strike.
And he starts him right off with the curveball. With all the talk about Buckner's legs and Barrett really breaking in from second base, they still not have, the Mets have not been able to bunt.
No balls and 1 strike to Lenny. The outfield about straight away. And that's fouled off third, carrying upstairs. And out. The breeze tonight is blowing from left to right. And it has straightened out Old Glory in that area. So that'll shorten up that 380 area in right field for the left-hand hitters who can pull. Just off the corner with that showcase fastball. 1-2. A ground ball to the right of Barrett. Marty stays with it to get him.
Started him off with the curveball, threw a fastball, with 2 strikes on him. Fastball outside and a big overhand curveball. He took something off that pitch. So he's already in just the first batter, showing him he's got pretty good control of his stuff.
One change in the Mets lineup. In Game 1, when Bruce Hurst pitched against the Mets, Tim Tuffle was batting 7th. Tonight against Hurst, he is batting 2nd. He had 2 hits against Hurst in Game 1. Ball 1. And of course, it was Tuffle's error that allowed the only run of the game to score. And now a chance to tell his side. Good fastball. A lot of motion on that one.
When they talk about him, they say that pitchers like to go to one particular pitch when they get in trouble. Not this fella. He's got a couple of them.
1-1 to Tuffle.
There it was. Well, he calls it a forkball, but the term of the 80s is a split finger fastball.
And Tuffle a little bit out in front of it. That was the difference between the regular fastball and the forkball. 1-2 the count. On deck, Keith Hernandez. 2-2.
He likes to get on one knee, he says, especially when the left-hander's pitching. When he's in the on-deck circle next, he's bearing down.
And that's hit into right center field. Base hit. And it will roll towards the bullpen. Jim Rice allowing Henderson, and Henderson will get it back in, but it's a double for Tuffle. So Tim Tuffle with a long double to right center field, and that would be his 3rd hit against Bruce Hurst.
Just simply goes with the pitch. You see the outside part of the plate, and Davy Johnson, using the lineup that got him here, puts Tuffle in there, and he's in scoring position, and Hernandez up there.
So by the time Henderson got it in, no play at second base, and Keith Hernandez the batter. Hernandez went 0 for 3 against Hurst and did walk once in their previous meeting. Off speed, just slipped it in there.
A big curveball.
2-1 to count to Keith. Marty Barrett can't do anything about Tuffle. He's playing on the edge of the infield, way over to the right. So the job to hold the runner is for Spike Owen.
They're really not bird dogging him too much at that. They're just both holding their positions. Barrett way over there protecting that hole on the right side.
One ball, one strike. On the inside corner with the fastball. Big pitch, and the count 1-2.
He didn't like it at all. Hernandez thought that pitch was inside.
By the way, with Bruce Hurst pitching, the plate umpire is from the National League, Ed Montague. Then you have Dale Ford, John Kibler, and Jim Evans on the base pad. Harry Wendelstedt down the left field line. Joe Brinkman down the right field line. 1-2. Two balls, two strikes. Jim Evans saying no swing. He joined us a little late. Dykstra grounded out. Tuffle double to right center, and Hernandez the batter, 2-2. And of course on deck is the man who had the big night last night, Gary Carter. Carter with 2 home runs and a double and 3 RBIs, waiting for a shot.
It's a big pitch because he could work on Carter if he gets Hernandez out of the way with Strawberry following Carter.
3-2. And a ground ball to the right side to Barrett, who plugs up the hole. He has to wait for Buckner because Buckner on those bad wheels took so long to get to the bag. Tuffle advancing to third. And here comes Carter.
Buckner going in to say something to Hurst. It's not a situation where you would walk him intentionally, but it's certainly a situation where you impress upon him, hey, in the meeting we said the pitch we don't want him to hit is, and I would assume that's the fastball. So Strawberry's up next. He's the guy. So let's see what happens.
If you notice the 7 RBIs for Gary Carter, that's the most RBIs for a National League player in the World Series since '82, when Keith Hernandez had 8 RBIs. Off speed, ball 1.
I think if he sees a fastball, then it'll be to push him back or outside. He certainly should not get a fastball he can handle.
1-0. In there for a strike. Just to go back, their last confrontation, Carter went 1 for 4 with a base hit. On deck is Darryl Strawberry, who struck out twice and walked twice against Bruce Hurst. Carter, by the way, has hit in 6 straight games. Fast up at third base. Marty Barrett, who has hit in all 4 series games, at second. Bill Buckner at first. Jim Rice in the cleanup spot in left. Don Baylor the DH. Dwight Evans in right field. Rich Gedman behind the plate. Dave Henderson in center field, and Spike Owen at short. On the mound, Dwight Gooden with a record of 17-6. In being careful about him, remember he's coming back on 3 days rest for the first time in his career.
Defensively, Mookie Wilson, who just seemed to have all kinds of fun out there last night. He really enjoyed it. Dykstra in center, Strawberry in right. It's night, Santana, Tuffle, and Hernandez. Carter behind the plate, and Gooden against Wade Boggs, who's been having a little bit of a tough time.
Dwight Gooden, 21 years old. And Davey Johnson said, you have to protect these young arms, but I don't mind pitching him on 3 days rest, because in his previous outing, in 5 innings, he made 90 pitches. So they thought they could bring him back tonight.
You saw him ask the umpire if it was okay to blow into his hands. I'm not for sure he got permission. And Montague, without a jacket, Vin, you must think it's plenty warm out here.
Well, we'll see about Wade Boggs putting on some heat. Ball 1, 1-0. It's nice to have Ted Williams watching with another great hitter at the plate in Wade Boggs. Ted, of course, never had a 200 hit season. Boggs has done it 4 straight years. Right, 1-1.
fastball. That's the pitch he has to lay off.
1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled away, 1-2. The Mets have a very tough mountain to climb tonight. One of the strengths of the Red Sox, the fact that they were not swept at home. They were not the victims of a 3-game sweep by one team in Fenway until the division was clinched, and then the Yankees swept the series. And the Mets trying to do it tonight. 1-2. Little number in front of the plate. Gooden is there, and that takes care of Boggs. That'll bring up Marty Barrett, who has hit in all 4. Boggs going 0 for 5 last night, so he's now 0 for 7 as he goes back into the dugout. Interesting, the flip-flop of Marty Barrett and Wade Boggs during the regular year, and it really benefited both men. However, in the series, Barrett, as you can see, is hitting .412. You know what Boggs is hitting? .167. 4-1.
He has not let up on a pitch yet. Just hard fastball, hard curve. If you're wondering about his speed, it's in about the middle 90s. 94 was one that we clocked. Some people said he let up on his fastball to get over for strikes, but I'll tell you something. It's the movement on the ball that was lacking in some of his games.
2-0. Tell you one thing, he looks like he's throwing a little harder than he was the other night at Shea.
He looks looser, and of course he's got such great rhythm. He uses his entire body, pushes off those legs, very fluid in his delivery, and he does that disturbing thing of looking away from the hitter in the middle of his windup. When you throw that hard, that can be a bit scary.
2 balls, 1 strike. There's a breaking ball over for a strike. 2-2.
I would think when he lets up on that curveball, you jump out of your car to hit it because he throws that good curveball so hard. Now watch him when he looks and delivers. He'll take his eye off the target twice in his delivery.
Three and 2, and he went back to the heat. On deck, Bill Buckner. And if anybody gets on, Jim Rice. 3-2 to Marty Barrett. 1 out in the first inning, no score. Very high. So Gooden walking Barrett with 1 out. Now he has Buckner and Rice coming up. Buckner, Rice, and Evans have had a tough series hitting with men in scoring position. Buckner right now is just trying to get started, as you can see, hitting under 200.
This is one of the few situations where they could start somebody at first base. Red Sox certainly not known for their speed, but they might start Barrett with Buckner's bad legs.
4-1. Barrett led the club in stolen bases with a modest 15, while Buckner was second in the major leagues in grounding into double plays. So Buck checking with Rene Latchman.
He gave him one sign, and when you back out of the batter's box, that's telling the coach, hey, I didn't get it. Give it to me again, which he did.
One ball, no strikes. And he's got Barrett. Yep, he picked him off. He was leaning the wrong way, and Gooden shot him down and hung him out to dry, and that'll do it for Marty.
You can see him start to go. And Gooden, who's really worked on his pickoff move, and a quick one and a quick tag, and they get him. They used to say Gooden can't hold anybody on, and the joke always was, well, nobody ever got on. I remember Sandy Koufax talking about him then. He said he has a great ability for keeping runners off base.
1 ball and no strikes to Bill Buckner, who whacks it up the middle for the base hit. But that was a very big pickoff play for Dwight Gooden. So 2 down, a runner at first, and now Jim Rice, the batter. Here's that pickoff.
He about took himself 1 full step, and Gooden with a good quick throw. They get him.
Now it's Rice. The first time they hooked up against each other, Gooden struck Rice out. Later on during the game, Rice had himself a 3-hit game. Breaking ball for a strike, and you can see Rice kind of give on it, taken all the way. 0-1. I guess everybody in the world knows that Rice is a first ball fastball hitter. Fastball hit behind the mound, kicked at second by Tuffle. He should have had the 3rd out. Tim Tuffle had plenty of time with a sore-legged Buckner coming down, and he couldn't make the play.
It hits right off the mound. Looks like it's going to get by, but hitting the mound, it slows down, and you can see Tuffle a little bit off balance. He had plenty of time. Here comes Buckner now, and that'll be an error.
No. The word is they're giving a hit we get. Let's double check on that. They flashed hit in one place and they put error on the scoreboard, and we will assume it's an error unless we hear otherwise. I mean, he would have had Buckner by plenty. All right, the first big break was the pickoff. The second, the bad play by Tuffle, and now let's see. Baylor fouls it away. 0-1.
They're really playing Baylor to pull that ball. Once again, Santana is over in the hole. As you can see, look how close he is to third baseman Knight. Mookie is over near the line. Baylor is strong enough to be able to pull that ball, but I tell you, he's got a real challenge against Gooden if he gets that ball outside and tries to pull it. It could be the ground ball that they're looking for.
Last night, the Sox had the bases loaded in the first inning and failed to score. By the way, they have now taken the error down off the scoreboard, and they are going to give Jim Rice a base hit. So a walk and 2 singles, but 2 out, 2 on. Buckner, a tough man to score on a base hit at second, and Rice at first. 0-2 to Baylor. Curve, half swing. No swing, says Dale Ford.
He is really emphatic when he calls him. You remember the other night at third base, he really gave a big call.
In retrospect, over the 4 games plus tonight, there has not been one appeal that has been granted in the series.
And not really any beefs as far as the umpires. They're really doing a super job.
1-2 the count to Baylor. Picked off after the walk. Buckner's single. Rice a scratch single, and here is Baylor with 2 out. 1-2. Tuffle playing him up the middle. Curveball hit foul.
It's pretty apparent that they're going to try to get Baylor out without showing him or giving him a fastball to hit. All breaking balls so far, and of course, the more he throws it, the more that puts the thought in Baylor's mind, when is he going to throw it to me?
For John McNamara, he knows full well the Sox left 11 men on base last night. And he's faced with that problem here. 2 on and 2 out in the first inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he's hit by the pitch. Don Baylor needs just 16 more if he can stand it, and he will break the all-time record of being hit 243 times by Ron Hunt.
And I love the way he looks at that record. He says, well, it's not the kind of a record that I used to dream about as a youngster. It really He drills him, but he's right on top of the plate. And you can see that ball boring in. And look at Gary Carter kind of almost ducking it. That fastball just kept coming in.
Well, you talk about opportunity coming around twice last night. Dwight Evans came up with 2 out in the first inning and the bases loaded and hit into a force play. And here he is with the same opportunity tonight. Curveball, ball 1.
Mel Stoudemire felt that Gooden wasn't using his curveball enough as we looked at Davy Johnson and McNamara, but Gooden is certainly using it tonight.
1 ball and no strikes. Buckner at third, Rice at second, Baylor at first, 2 out. And another curve for a strike, 1-1. Darling got Evans out in the first inning on a breaking ball. In the first game, Darling threw the same pitch in the dirt. Last night he threw it and Evans rolled to short. So we'll see if Gooden tries to use him as an escape hatch again tonight. Here's Ron Darling basking in the glow of a big win last night. Bobby Ojeda charting the pitches. 1 ball, 1 strike. And as a high fly ball to left, Mookie has a play. And the Sox begin tonight on a sour note as they strand 3. And for Marty Barrett, picked off in the first inning, and that was the killer tonight so far. At the end of an inning, no score.
And I'm sure that's what he was talking about to the second base umpire. There it is. You can see he's caught leaning. They had a play on. And Gooden, you have to give him credit, really working on that. That was a weakness of his, but big one in tonight's game so far.
So Darryl Strawberry, Ray Knight, and Kevin Mitchell in a big roundhouse curveball 1-0. Breaking ball strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. By the way, the official scorers, there are 3 of them for the World Series. Red Foley of the New York Daily News, Dave Nightingale of the Sporting News, Charlie Scoggins of the Lowell, Massachusetts Sun. 1-2, the count is Strawberry. Top of the second inning, no score. The Mets left a runner at third. The Sox, the bases loaded. 2-2. High foul, out of play, off to the left, upstairs. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. You can just imagine, you look at Darryl Strawberry or Wade Boggs, and you wonder the thoughts going through the mind of Ted Williams.
Probably sitting there trying to figure out how he could hit Hurst and Gooden.
2-2. Ground ball to first. Buckner on his knee will have to feed Hurst coming over. 1 away. Ted had such a magnificent career, and it is so good indeed to see him. I mean, what credentials. Player of the decade in the 50s, Hall of Famer, most valuable player twice, led the league, did everything, and eventually got his name and number in the Red Sox history books forever.
Hit 400 on the last day of the season. And how about that little audio cut we had last day here when he hit the home run and said goodbye.
Here's Ray Knight. 1 out, second inning, no score. Ball 1, 1-0. Two balls and no strikes to Ray. On deck, Kevin Mitchell, the rookie who's the DH tonight. That's an interesting thought. The Sox won without the DH. The Mets win with it.
So far, it's been kind of backwards as to who's winning where. You figure with Baylor, a DH here in Fenway Park would be an edge for the Red Sox. Mets come in and take 2. Pitchers hit in Shea Stadium for the Red Sox. They take 2.
Oh, was it Roger Miller wrote that song, King of the Road? 2-0. Bottom dropped out of that thing. 2 balls and 1 strike to Ray Knight.
That's the thing we're talking about. When he's in a jam, 2 balls and no strikes, he can go to any one of his pitches. He went to that fork ball that time.
Now back with a fastball, but he missed. He certainly had him set up for that. 3-1. On the cool side tonight, so the pitchers again are allowed to blow on their hands.
He misses, according to Montague, but he doesn't miss by much. Ray Knight walking over there. That's what he did to Ashby in the playoffs, and they got a little conversation about that.
3-1. High fly ball hooking down the left field line in the corner, and the wind trying to blow it back, but it's going to land in the stands. That breeze is blowing from left to right. So if you're the left fielder, it's a good idea not to quit on any ball hit down in the corner. That will be an influence.
It's the first thing ball players check. Is that flag? Not to be patriotic, but which way is it blowing?
3-2 to Ray Knight. We're in the second, no score. Fastball, and he was a little late. So he started him with a fork ball, just missed, and he's been battling 3-2. Mets left Tuffle at third in the first inning. The Sox left the bases loaded in the first. Now we have 1 out, top of the second, no score. Fastball hit to right. Evans has to go back a bit. 2 down.
I don't know many outfielders that worked as hard as Evans. Before the game, he's out there by himself. He's got some kind of a drill with Coach Joe Morgan where he's in center field and Joe Morgan stands on the foul line and hits him line drives and short hops, and he's just doing it and doing it and doing it.
Well, here's Kevin Mitchell with 2 out in the second inning. The handyman for the Mets all year. Played 6 different positions for them. Batted in just about every spot in the order. And for good measure, the team barber. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball 2.
I'll tell you, but the way he cut your hair, he needs a hunting license. Boy, he does a number on you. Gives the kind of haircuts that I got naturally.
2-0. Mitchell now. 3 balls and no strikes, and Gedman going out. Darryl Strawberry was a most recent, I don't know if I should say customer or victim of Kevin Mitchell.
Victim would be better. You know, one of the things Gedman said about Hurst, he said once he tried not striking out everybody and kind of relaxed.
Right. So a couple of breaks. The Sox denied because Barrett was picked off in the first inning. And then Strawberry not seeing that line drive off the bat of Henderson. It goes for a triple instead of a double, and the Sox cash it in on a fly ball. Darryl and Len Dykstra had a little discussion when they got back to the dugout after the inning. High foul off to the right, out of play. Normally, when you come to a ball game, you're sitting in the stands and you see the ball hit. If you look and the outfielder is just starting to move, he didn't have a jump. Well, when Henderson hit the ball and we looked at Strawberry, he was dead in his tracks. He wasn't moving at all.
Of course, the misnomer too is the crack of the bat. You have to move before you hear the crack of the bat. You've got a late jump.
And how? Because the speed of light is a lot quicker than the speed of sound. Right. Well, Mookie muttering to himself. Strikeout number 1 for Bruce Hurst, and Rafael Santana coming up. Game 5, and somebody goes to New York with an edge. leadoff man Len Dykstra. And now the plate umpire Ed Montague is telling Tim Tuffle to leave the on-deck area. Remember last night we were talking about they could take a team picture in the batting circle. Not anymore. They've just sent Tuffle back to the dugout. On the corner, 2-1.
Keith Hernandez was telling me they did that in the championship series or in the playoffs, but they've been doing it all in the World Series. Nobody said a word.
And they do it all year. Fastball, and he's behind now, 3-1. Comes as kind of a shock. You don't think about it. This is the first time the home team has been ahead in the World Series, having the lead. So the walk to the number 9 hitters, Santana and Len Dykstra, who grounded out in the first inning, coming up. And Buckner wants another meeting with Hurst.
Well, the Mets certainly can manufacture runs. That's what they did all year long. They're not waiting for the 3-run homer, especially with guys like Dykstra in the batter's box and Santana on base. So Hurst has a good move. Now Buckner wants Gedman to come in on the conversation. Barrett is going to come in. They're going to set up a defense, obviously.
By the way, Santana did not have a stolen base nor an attempt this year.
With Dykstra up there, he can do so many things, Ben. I think the threat of the bunt is the big thing. He's already pulled Boggs in. Now, if Buckner breaks in, he breaks up the whole infield, and that's the important thing.
1 out, top of the third. Red Sox 1. Mets nothing. And he's going over.
What he does with the good move, he'll hang you with that front leg. He'll get up midair and almost like a stork, he'll stand on the one leg and you almost commit yourself. Hurst has a good move. Johnson calls it a balk move.
Breaking ball sends him scrambling in the dirt. Ball 1. Hurst's picked off 4 men this year, 11 last year, and 15 the year before that. Dykstra, 2 balls and no strikes. Sox 1, Mets nothing, top of the third, 1 away. Big curveball for a strike.
Brother, that's as good a big league pitch as you want to see. You got a little guy like Dykstra up there who at 5'8" maybe on his toes, and he throws in that big breaking curveball. And you talk about throwing something beside a fastball when you're behind. There's a major league pitch right there.
2-1. Fastball, little dunker to center. Henderson coming up. It's going to land. Stopping at second is Santana, and the Mets are in business. First and second, 1 out, and Tim Tuffle coming up on a little flare to center by Lenny Dykstra.
Dykstra gets a piece of the ball. He puts it in play. And I mean, some of them are beauties like the home runs, and then you get one like that. But when you put the bat on the ball, anything can happen.
Tim Tuffle with a couple of hits against Hurst the first time around, and then a double in the first inning. Two on, 1 out in the third. The Mets trying to at least get even. On deck, Keith Hernandez. Worked him high and away. Ball 1. At second base, Rafael Santana. At first, Len Dykstra, 1 away.
Tuffle uses pretty much the whole ballpark, so they're really straight away. The tip-off is Henderson in center field. He's directly behind the bag, so he's got him pretty well scattered out. That was that split-finger fastball. There you see Henderson. Look at him in line with the bag.
Tuffle doubled to right center in the first inning. Check again at first. No swing. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Dale Ford, he's calling everybody safe.
The court of last appeal is not working. Doing 1 to Tuffle. Fastball. Fly ball down the left field line, but remember the wind. It'll cut it down, and Rice has a play.
Tell you though, Vin, he had that wall ball cut on that one. He was not fooled. He got under it.
So a lazy fly ball to left as the legs cut out from under it, and now Keith Hernandez.
Here's the swing. You can see he gets right into it. He just got under it. And with that wind blowing, there's no way it's going to be even close.
Hernandez grounded to second in the first inning. The first inning was very busy for Marty Barrett. He handled all 3. So Keith 0 for 1. Santana at second, Dykstra at first, 2 out in the third, 1-0 Sox. Slow curveball for a strike.
That's the way he started him the last time, and then he went to the fastball. Hernandez usually against a left-hand hitter, a left-hand pitcher rather, will go the opposite way and kind of inside out it.
Buckner is almost on the grass. Barrett is almost on the grass. The right side is about as deep as you can play a hitter. 1-1. And of course for Buckner, he's really at a disadvantage should Hernandez top a ball up along first base. We've had a couple of relatively close plays at first, only because Marty Barrett had to wait for Buckner to run to the bag to handle the throw. Well, that's deep. Fastball, and that's a fly ball to left, and Rice will have a play. And Hurst is out of the jam. The Mets lead 2 on a walk and a base hit, and at the end of 2 1/2, 1-0 Boston. Marty Barrett, Bill Buckner, and Jim Rice. This is an indication of the kind of a shot we can get. There is a camera on top of the roof down the left field line, and just to show you the perspective first of the camera towards home, we also have a cameraman high up on the left field wall as we try to cover this thing like a blanket.
We had George Loomis inside the scoreboard. We have more guys on this wall than the Red Sox.
Big bouncer over the mound, Tuffle to his right, and throws back to get him. So Barrett grounding out, 1 away, and the batter will be Bill Buckner.
First pitch, that's kind of rare for Marty Barrett. He usually takes a few pitches. Works that count to 3-2, hits the first one, and you could see Tuffle brace himself so he could get extra on the throw.
Bill Buckner singled to center in the first inning.
Oh, Buck's got to visit with everybody.
Oh, yes. Oh, now.
I used to like that when they did that, but what used to bug me is they start a conversation and finish it when they crossed home plate. Now that's not very nice.
1-0 to Buck. Sox 1 run, 3 hits. Mets no runs, 2 hits. We're in the third. In there. Buckner has made 1 change from the start of the series down at his feet. He's wearing a high top shoe on the left foot and the normal shoe on the right. He's got more tape than Seabiscuit. 1-1. Ball 2.
I'll tell you, with him, it's certainly not to help his speed. He's just trying to find comfort. Stay away from the pain.
It's funny, though, when the series started, he said, "I'll never play another game without the high tops." But for whatever reason, he switched tonight. Meanwhile, Gooden with the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Doesn't care what kind of shoes he's wearing. Check swing on a high change and a ground ball that's kicked at shortstop. Buckner no threat to advance. So Buckner was fooled, checked his swing, and still reaches. And that will be a boot and an error charge to Santana.
It looked like he just let the ball play him, and it just ate him up. It wasn't hit that hard, and that's really a rare thing to see Santana just miss a ball that's really that easy.
So a runner at first with 1 out. And Jim Rice, the batter. You remember, Rice hit the ball up the middle, and Tupple should have made a play to get a force on Buckner, but he couldn't handle it, and Rice was given a single. And after Rice comes Baylor. He overthrew that pitch, and Carter just said, "Easy, easy." Just gestured to him.
Well, that's one of the things that he himself realizes, that if I just stay within myself, is the expression he uses, but he kind of jumps at the batter Rice, and you could see Carter just, "Hey, settle down. You don't have to throw that hard." When you do that, you squeeze the ball, and it's just not fluid.
1-0 to Jim. They're not holding Buckner. They're not expecting him to do any kind of running. In there. Again, Rice kind of bailing out on the breaking ball. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike.
He starts that curveball right at him and just snaps right in there.
Red Sox 1 run, 3 hits. Mets no runs, 2 hits, 1 error. And you can see Hernandez dropping back off Buckner. Missed ball, too.
And he still got him bailing out. You remember it was Rice who said in spring training facing Gooden, he said it was 1 foul tip, 3 more pitches, and then grab some bench.
Two balls, 1 strike. All 3 off speed. Now, actually, he made a good off-speed pitch to Buckner, but the error hurt him. And now he's in trouble against a fastball hitter, 3-1, and he has Baylor on deck.
This will tell you something about what Gooden and Carter are thinking, because is he going to go strength against
2, hit a batter. He's had an error back of him.
Now, he is just not fluid when he overthrows it. I mean, 94 is the speed, but he comes right into you. You can see he let that ball go high. Look where he fell when he finished up there. That's not like him.
So Jim Rice goes to first. Buckner, aboard on the error, moves up a notch to second. And with 1 out, Don Baylor, who was hit by a pitch in the first inning, coming up.
Baylor's right on top of that plate. Tough man to pitch inside to.
One thing goes with the other. He doesn't like the ball inside, so he stands over the plate, so he gets hit by the pitch. Breaking ball, 0-1.
They're swung way around for Baylor, as they have been the whole series, and with Buckner at second base, you look at the defense. Look how far Tuftle is. Hernandez wide, protecting the hole. Be a tough trip for Buckner to score on a single.
To count to Baylor. Tuftle kind of bird dogging at the bag. And another breaking ball. So 2 curveballs to Baylor. The count 0-2, and time for a little conference.
Well, he did that the last time, and I kind of believe that Gary is saying, hey, if you throw the fastball, maybe we should get it outside. What is he going to do? Where does he want to spot that fastball, if indeed he's going to throw it, or does he want to stay with that curveball? That's what Baylor's looking at. You can see him turn that ball over. Look at that rotation on that ball.
Well, after a couple of good curveballs, would you stay with the curve?
I would, yes, with him. But then again, let's see what Carter does. I know one thing. I don't think I'd go that inside with a chance of hitting him.
0-2. Breaking ball got him swinging. So he got 3 curveballs to take care of Baylor. First strike.
After seeing that, you got to believe that Gary went out there, Vin, and said, hey, look, let's not fool around with that fastball. Let's go out and get him right now. What's the difference if it's 2 strikes and no ball? Still that curveball. We're going to try to make him hit the curveball anyhow. Let's try to get him now. And they did.
So 2 down, runners at first and second, and here is Dwight Evans, who flied to left in the first inning. Rice at first, Buckner at second. 1-0 Boston in the third. The Sox left 3 in the first inning, but picked a run up in the second on a defensive lapse in the outfield. And he starts him with a breaking ball, so that means he's thrown 4 curves in a row.
Well, we mentioned it earlier. Mel Stottlemyre, the pitching coach, he thinks that he should be throwing a lot more curveballs. And by golly, he is tonight, and so far he's been pretty effective.
0-1. Fastball, line drive, base hit, and that should be enough to get Buckner, but he's going to have to hurry. The throw is way offline.
Chance to get him, and when he gets near home plate, watch what he does. He gives it everything. Not even close, but head first slide. And I tell you, he laid there for looked like a minute.
Oh, it's interesting. The first fastball he threw after 4 consecutive curves, and the Sox ring him up with a base hit to Dykstra. Remember, that's an unearned run because Buckner reached on the error by Santana. The inning should be over. Instead, it's 2-0 Boston, and they're looking for more with Gedman. Fastball, ball 1. So really, Gooden is very unlucky. Strawberry should have made a better play in the second inning, and the Sox shouldn't have scored. And they would not have scored in the third if Santana fields a ground ball. But luck or no, the Red Sox 2, and the Mets nothing. 1-0. Fastball fouled away upstairs.
If you've ever had a leg injury, just watch this picture and you can identify with it.
So Billy Bucks gets the job done. Talking to Dave Stapleton about his circuitous route to home. The red badge of courage on his chest, and it's 2-0 Boston.
Well, he looks like a guy that would make the All-Star team with the MASH unit.
Gedman popped to short in the second inning. Remember, he was jammed. He has Rice at second, Evans at first, 2 out, and a run in. No one throwing in the Mets bullpen. There's no reason. Two on, 2 out. 2-0 Boston. Off speed, got it in there.
Just from up here, Vin, if the manager would come out and ask you, say, what kind of stuff has he got? You'd have to say he's got great stuff.
Oh, yes.
His fastball's jumping in there. His curveball is snapping off.
And Davey knows what might have been. But instead, he's face to face with the reality of what is. 2-0 Boston. Fastball on the hands. Fly ball to Dykstra. So the Sox get 1, leave 2, and on the scoreboard, Rafael Santana's error. And of course, that was the key to the inning. Just a routine ground ball that hit him on the left wrist and got away to start the inning. 2-0 Sox at the end of 3.
20 pitches to Rice, Rice, Baylor, and Evans curveballs. 14 of the 20 were curveballs, and there you see to Baylor and now to Evans. All breaking balls. And then he got Baylor with the 2 strikes with the curveball.
2-0 Boston in the 4th inning. Carter, Strawberry, and Knight. Carter grounded out in the 1st inning to make the last out and leave Tuffle at 3rd. Fastball. He didn't have much of a swing at all on the fastball in the 1st inning. It was down and away. It was a very tentative prod, and he just kind of rolled it over to Marty Barrett.
The spot that they want to hit. And even last night with Nipper, John was a bit upset that they gave him such a good fastball to hit. He'll try to pull everything, Gary will, Carter. And watch where he lays this one. Hurst lays it right on an outside corner. I'll tell you, that's tough to hit.
And at the knees, strike 3 called. He had to be guessing to take that fastball.
He's looking for something he didn't get. That's what Carter's looking at. Look at the way Hurst just kind of keeps his eye on that target. Fastball. Boy, he gets that left leg up high, doesn't he?
And leaves it there a while.
Yeah, line drive will pick him off.
It might be how he suffered that groin injury back in May, the way he twists that torso. All right, here's Strawberry. Grounded out in the 2nd inning. Fastball for a strike. Strawberry rolled to Buckner in the 2nd inning, and again the right side of the infield very deep. On the corner. So Hurst now is really in rhythm. Everything he's throwing is right on the edge, and he's mixing them up.
You can almost put that to music. Get the ball and throw. Get the ball and throw. And when you're rolling, you really feel that.
So Strawberry trying to break the rhythm and stop the music. He backs out.
Good idea.
0-2.
Curveball.
Big curve hit to the right of Barrett and into center field for a base hit. So Strawberry gets a slow curve with 1 out and bangs it up the middle, and that'll bring up Ray Knight. So that means Strawberry, who had been in a terrific slump, has 3 hits in his last 5 at-bats. Ray Knight hit the ball pretty hard in the 2nd inning, but right at Dwight Evans in right field. Ray 0 for 1. He was the Mets' most productive hitter against left-hand pitching. He hit over 370 against left-handers. On deck, Kevin Mitchell. Roller foul outside of 3rd, trickling over to the Mets dugout, and the count 0-1. And the ubiquitous Ron Darling is there to grab it.
He just got some votes for the All-Star game.
Sure. Oh, 0-1 to Ray. That graphic you saw about Ray Knight and his home runs. His first home run of the year came against a left-hander, Steve Carlton.
That was a good shot of Knight. You saw him just kind of staring down at the ground. He's already positioned. You can bet he was thinking about what the pitch is coming up here. A lot of hitters do that.
we spotted that tip-off. Strawberry digging in with his left foot. Whoop, almost threw it away. Buckner has no mobility at all over there, so if Hurst makes a throw off line, it's a problem. There's a line drive that's short hop by Boggs, and they get the double play. No run, one hit, nobody left, and at the end of 3 1/2, the Red Sox 2 and the Mets nothing.
And Strawberry was really hung up. He thought the ball was going to be caught, so he's out of the play either way. When he trapped the ball, he's in no man's land. They catch the ball, he's in no man's land.
2-0 Red Sox. As we go to the 4th inning, Dave Henderson, who had that questionable triple in the 2nd inning when the ball got between Strawberry under his glove, and then Dykstra fell down, and he was cashed in on 0 fly ball. Breeze blowing out to right, and you get the feeling the temperature is dropping considerably. We had a light rain shower, but it's getting cool now. 1 ball, no strikes. Good change. 1-1.
Looks like Henderson wanted to pull the trigger, and his body wouldn't let him. He's got so much of that body, it's hard to get them all together.
Kibler, the second base umpire, retrieving something out in shallow left field. Boy, it is hand blowing time now. 1-1. He's given Henderson everything he has. A great straight change, and now the curveball, and the count 1-2. If Gooden had any kind of fielding back of him, it would be no score tonight. But the Sox lead. They cashed it in. 2-0. 4th inning. Swing, and he's done. Strikeout number 2 for Gooden. 1 out in the 4th, and Spike Owen coming up.
When you watch a pitcher blowing his hands, if you're wondering what he's trying to do, he's trying to get some moisture, because that ball, when it gets cool, chilly like it is tonight, it's really slick, and sometimes you just can't get the feel of the seams, and it just slips. It's as simple as all that.
Spike Owen, in a big role in the 2nd inning, fulfilled it by lifting the fly ball to left deep enough to get Henderson home. He takes a strike. Dwight Gooden was the 5th man in the 1982 draft. A lot has been made of that because of the men drafted in front of him. Well, the man drafted right after him was Spike Owen. He was the number 6 man. There's the list. Augie Schmidt, a shortstop. Jimmy Jones, a pitcher. Brian Oakers, a pitcher. Then Gooden, some kind of pitcher. Then Spike Owen. That was some draft. And some selection. One ball, one strike. Foul back. Roger Clemens sitting with Al Nipper in the dark of the dugout. He'll go in Game 6 against Bobby Ojeda. Dribbler foul. Hit something and started to come back, but it stayed out there. Owen started to quit on it, and then he realized that thing could come back in the chalk.
Boy, that's when you really should run him out, and I tell you, I learned that the hard way. You were broadcasting that game that day in St. Louis. I stood at home plate and played spectator.
Your mistakes are so few, I forget them.
feeling he hit something about to come in, and Hernandez, watch Hernandez. He'll let it roll all the way. Now it's an official foul ball. That was really nice. Man.
What'd you do? I don't remember.
Oh, I tapped that ball in front of home plate.
Stood there?
Stood there and watched it, and Campy tagged the guy coming in, and he said, "Oh, Joe, you're here. Let me tag you. Get a double play."
1-2. 2-2 this fight.
It's funny, believe it or not, I got traded 2 days after that.
What a coincidence. Yeah.
There's nothing personal.
Wade Boggs on deck. Just foul outside of first and down the line. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Gooden is the picture of a pitcher who is uncomfortable. I mean, he is blowing on his hand constantly, and it looks like he is feeling the effects of the evening.
He can't seem to get the right grip on that ball with certain baseballs that have been thrown to him. Of course, he comes from Tampa now. He's Florida. This is all new to him.
Two balls, two strikes. Fastball. That's all for Spike. However, for Gooden, that strikeout comes at the wrong time. He couldn't get Spike when the runner was at third. 3 strikeouts for Gooden, and the batter now is Wade Boggs. Boggs hit back to Gooden and grounded out to Hernandez. 0 for 2. And of course, you're looking at the Major League's leading hitter. 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 5 last night, and he is now 0 for his last 8 at bats. Ball 1.
Pretty good tip-off on him, though, Vin. 0 for 8, but it has not affected his fielding. He doesn't take that the last time at bat out on the field.
He has company, too, in the last few years as far as batting champs in the World Series. In '84, Tony Gwynn hit .263. In '85, Willie McGee hit .259. And Wade struggling. They never had a batting champ in the World Series in the '70s. And there's a base hit. So Boggs breaks the string with a solid single up the middle, and with 2 out, the batter will be Marty Barrett. Barrett walked in the first inning, grounded out in the third.
And Hernandez already is talking to Tuffle to move on over some more. He is directing it. He is the general. He sets the defense. He's looking to see where Tuffle is. He wants him to move over because Barrett hits this way, and he's going to have to hold Wade Boggs on. He's still not happy. He wants him to come over some more, and Tuffle says, "I am."
Ball 1. We were talking before about the Mets' lack of defense, and that has hurt Gooden. And of course, Barrett in the first inning. If he had not been picked off, the Sox would have scored. Santana, of course, his error contributing in the third inning. The pickoff of Barrett stifled the Red Sox in the first inning. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 down, 4th inning, 2-0 Boston. On deck, Bill Buckner. In there. 1-1. Boy, Buckner's legs, you'd think he'd just come out on the field. In this cold weather, that's going to add to his problems and his miseries.
I tell you, he works so hard before the game. He takes a couple steps, sounds like he's cracking walnuts.
1 ball and 1 strike. The count to Marty Barrett. And got the inside corner. That's quite a pitch. 1-2.
Watching the defense, Tuffle is busy because he's got to let Hernandez know, and he's letting Santana know with the open mouth and closed mouth sign. He's getting the signs from Carter, and he's flashing them to both. Word sign to Hernandez.
Fastball hit by the mound behind second by Tuffle and Santana, and on his way to third, Boggs is in there. For Marty Barrett, he moves Boggs over to third, and this is a big moment for Marty Barrett.
You can see him draw his arms in, hit it up the middle. He just does get by both Santana and Tuffle, and Boggs really made a good base running play. Once it got by second base, he hit it for third pretty much on his own.
For Marty Barrett, his 19th hit in the postseason, tying Thurman Munson's record back in 1978. So Barrett, a solid ball player as Boggs takes off and hits the runway.
Did you see him look at the outfield when he was rounding second base? On a play like that, the play's in front of you, you make up your own mind, and he did.
So 2 strikeouts and then 2 singles up the middle. And here's Buckner, who was singled and was aboard on the arrow by Santana. Ball 1. 2-0 Boston, trying to open it some more. From third, Marty Barrett at first, held on by Hernandez. Gooden trying to get the last out in the fourth. Ball 2. On deck, Jim Rice. Making Gooden wait, and Dwight just blowing on his hand. 2-0. That pitch, by the way, is the 80th pitch, 8-0, made by Gooden, and we're only in the 4th inning.
His average pitches per 9 innings in 12 starts, they took it as 123.9, 124 pitches. That's his average, so he's heading for trouble.
3-0, the count of Bill Buckner, 2 out. Runners at first and third, 2-0 Boston, and they are stirring around in the Mets bullpen. Gooden started the inning by striking out Henderson and Owen, but he's given up 2 singles and he's behind to Buckner. Rick Aguilera is up in the Mets pen. 3-0 in there. There's Aguilera, and he'll have company. Sid Fernandez. You're talking about Gooden from Florida. How about a kid from Hawaii pitching tonight? And in Fenway. Marty Barrett. At third, Wade Boggs. 2 out, 3-1 the count to Bill Buckner. Lined and grabbed by Hernandez. Short hopped it, and Keith brought it to the bag. We had to look at Dale Ford to make sure that ball was in play. So Gooden is out of the trouble. At the end of 4, Boston 2 and the Mets nothing, and a good play by Keith Hernandez. We'll be right back after these messages from you. Top of the 5th inning, 2-0 Boston. Hit off the end of the bat, a dunker to right for a base hit from Mitchell. Kevin way out in front of it and cued it into right field.
Then we were talking about the pitches made by Gooden, 82, and in 4 innings, Hurst with that one has made 64. So it shows you quite a difference.
Big difference. And a difference on the scoreboard. 2-0 Boston as Mookie Wilson comes up. Mookie struck out in the 3rd inning. Sox scored in the 2nd inning Henderson tripled and Owen picked him up with a fly ball, and Boston won more on the error by Santana and eventually a base hit by Evans. Split finger job, the bottom coming out of that. 0-1 to count to Mookie. Bruce Hurst, 28 years old, out of St. George, Utah, with 4 shutouts here this year. One ball, one strike. Mookie checking Buddy Harrelson at third to see if there might be a play on. Mitchell held on by Buckner. Harrelson wandering around down there. There are 2 men again out of the Mets dugout in the area of the on-deck circle. You have Santana, the next hitter, and Len Dykstra. Remember, they sent Tuffle back earlier in the third. That's hit to the hole, base hit to right field. Mitchell a look at second. He will hold. They know that Evans has the best arm in the outfield. So the tying runs are aboard with nobody out. Santana and Dykstra coming up.
Santana, he's walking right towards Buddy Harrelson. He's where they hit Fungo's looking right at him.
One of the oldest expressions in baseball, you play to win on the road and you play to tie at home, meaning on the road you would have your hitter hitting in this spot, and at home you'd have him playing sacrifice to get the runners in scoring position to tie it up. However, you throw that book out the window, especially in the World Series.
I would look for bunt all the way there.
Santana, by the way, has only sacrificed once this year.
Look at Buckner.
He needs a head start, and the bunt fouled away. And Gedman kind of stepped on Santana. He did. Rich Gedman whirled around and caught Santana a little bit on the foot, the right foot.
Instinctively behind the plate, when that ball hits that bat, you break forward, and he'll kind of move forward. And
watch now, right?
He's looking for the ball.
Ouch, right there. Got it.
He didn't break at all. He's looking for the ball and stepped right on his foot.
0-1 to count to Raphael. The bunt up along third. Good bunt. Barehanded by Boggs to Barrett in time. So he lays down a dandy, and the tying runs are at second and third with Lenny Dykstra coming up.
That was almost a base hit. I'm telling you, that was a great bunt. He gets it past the pitcher, and Wade Boggs has to barehand that ball, and it's a tremendous play by Boggs to get Santana. That was a beautiful bunt.
So second and third, 1 out, and Len Dykstra the batter, and it's hand-blowing time for Bruce Hurst. Two runs, 6 hits for Boston. No runs, 5 hits for the Mets. Dykstra grounded out and singled. Having a big series. So the tying runs are out there. Wilson at second, Mitchell at third. 1 out, top of the 5th. With a big curveball, it stayed up. Ball 1. I would think it's particularly tough to get that curveball breaking.
That ball is slick, and that's the problem. That's why you see all that blowing in the hands.
1-0.
It is really swirling too. You can see Dykstra may have gotten something in his eye.
He did. Second and third. Boggs up inside the bag at third. And that's a big rainbow. Dykstra gesturing. He thought it was high, and Ed Montague gestures back to him that it dipped into the zone. 1-1.
It's a big breaking curveball. Now Dykstra's not sure of it, and he turns and he'll ask about it. I thought that ball was high. Was it high? No, says Montague.
1-1. Fastball, and he fouled it away. And Dykstra thought he had his pitch. He was looking fastball and angrily kicked to the dirt. Well, the runner's holding at second and third, 1-2. Outside of plain missing it, I guess to get the ball you're looking for and fouling it off is just as frustrating.
For the good hitter it is. Of course, a kid like Dykstra, he's almost like Burleson, you know, bearing down. I mean, when he doesn't do what he thinks he should do, he's mad at himself.
1-2 to Lenny. Fastball got him, and he went in for a borderline pitch.
A high fastball. The curveball was a call strike, and he went after the high fastball. He battled it, and the fans are really giving it to him, but he's reacting like the professional that he is.
Well, a borderline fastball somewhere up around the letter.
Look at that expression on his face. He saw it all the way. He just didn't get it. Hurst was much better.
And he also tried to uppercut it, I guess thinking about trying to at least hit a fly ball, and did he ever come up empty. So with 2 down in second and third, Tim Tuffle doubled to right center, flied to left. He has 3 hits against Hurst in the series.
You measure a pitcher by what does he do with the man at third base and less than 2 outs. And Hurst just gave you a pretty good answer.
In there. Wally Backman, the man he replaced, has to stay in the dugout and hang in there.
And you see what he's doing? Keeping his hands warm in case he has to play.
1-1. Slow curve. Strike 2.
You know, Vin, there are statistics that tell you a story like quality starts and the rest of them run average. But when you see a guy do what this guy's doing right now, here's a slow curveball, and you'll see the rotation of it. Drop right in for a strike.
And listen to this crowd now. Ground ball wide to third. Boggs has it. He's out of the jam. The Mets leave runners at second and Rice an infield single and walk. 1 for 1. That was a fairly lengthy top of the 5th inning. So you wonder about Gooden stiffening up in the cool of the evening. Rice, meanwhile, waiting to get his licks in, leading off. And Gooden behind 2-0.
Good Jim Rice now. He missed with 2 fastballs. What would you be sitting on?
Well, he was very effective with the curveballs to Baylor.
Well, if he throws him a curveball, I got to believe he'll take it for a strike.
2-0. Fastball, and he went after it. He couldn't lay off it. He's out of the strike zone, and the count 2-1.
He had made up his mind that he was going to go on a fastball, and it was a high. You can see it now. Look at him bear down and watch those eyes open up. That high fastball, tough to lay off of, and he knew it. Look at that. It was painful.
And that's it late and foul down the right field line, out of play. I was just thinking at that look of anguish on the face of Jim Rice, and out in center field, Lenny Dykstra standing there saying, "Yeah, tell me about it." Remember that high fastball he swung out and missed, leaving runners at second and third. Two and 2. Curveball hit in the air, and Dykstra on his horse, and the wind is blowing it in off against the bullpen. Rice is on his way to third. nice throw, not in time. A wind-blown triple that was almost a home run.
You could really see it tail off to the right, almost like in golf it would be a slice. It's a high towering drive. The wind gets it. It would be drifting away anyhow, but the wind really takes it away from Dykstra, and it's just a foot or so from a home run. You see it hit the top, and almost the frustration in that bullpen. And Strawberry, by the time he gets up with a 3-base hit, and now Hernandez is playing him, but everybody else is back.
Baylor, Evans, and Gedman trying to pick him up. 2-0 Boston in the 5th inning. In the dirt, a good save by Carter.
It was very close to a home run, and you can see how close. Look at that. Oh. Another one of those angles, Vin, in this ballpark. You just don't know which way it's going to come back.
It's like being inside a pinball machine.
Exactly.
1 ball and no strikes to Don Baylor, hit by a pitch in the 1st inning and struck out in the 3rd.
It's been curveballs that Gooden has been using to get Baylor.
1-0. And that's looped into right field. Base hit and the run.
Jamming with the fastball.
So Dwight Gooden, who trailed 4-2 and 6-2 and had to go out. Jim Rice hollering encouragement out of the dugout. And Baylor standing at first. A modest thing and thine own. A bloop single to right for the RBI.
He's giving a needle to Baylor because he got jammed on that pitch. He just fisted it over there. That's what he's doing. He's sticking a needle in Baylor.
3-0 Boston on 8 hits. And the batter is Dwight Evans. Fly to left, single to center. And the bunt foul. 0-1.
Playing so deep. Knight is back, and Hernandez way wide of first base. Rice is really having some fun with Baylor, because Gooden did throw a good fastball. He did jam him, but as strong as he is, he's right on top of that plate, and he just plunked one into right field.
So a long windbone triple by Jim Rice, a bloop single to right by Baylor, and the Sox pick up another. And Sid Fernandez, the left-hander throwing in the Mets bullpen. Evans talking to plate umpire Ed Montague.
The balloon over there in center field is bouncing around, very distracted. Yeah. That's what it is, or a beach ball. There it is.
There's extra enthusiasm here at Fenway Park. Not only the importance of the game, it's Game 5. Fall is here and winter is just around the corner, and it is the last game of the year to be played at historic Fenway for 1986. And the folks who are here are going to get the most out of it. 0-1 to Evans. Baylor at first. Nobody out. 3-0 Boston. 5th inning. High foul out of play.
It's kind of a cat and mouse game that Baylor and Hernandez are playing. Hernandez is playing so wide, and he gets right behind Baylor, and when Baylor kind of sees that, he tries to screen Hernandez, and they were kind of dancing back there.
You saw the 91 pitches that Gooden has made. Now remember, at 21, he is pitching on 3 days rest for the first time in his career. The last time he pitched, he went 5 innings and gave up 90 pitches. 0-2.
Watch those two over there. Look where Baylor is, right in front of him.
And 2. On deck, Rich Gedman. So the Sox certainly has the momentum. After all, the Mets had a golden opportunity, second and third, and one out in the fifth, and came up empty. They left Tuffle at third in the first inning. Boston recovered after a bases loaded failure in the first inning to get a run in the second, a run in the third, and another here in the fifth. The wind again swirling, and this time getting Evans. One and two. Fastball, little chin music, and the count 2-2.
You have to pitch inside this ballpark to keep him honest. And Dewey, he just kind of closes his eyes and said, "Oh, I hope I got out of the way in time," and he did.
Baylor with Hernandez directly behind him. Two and two to Dwight Evans. There goes Baylor, and it's fouled away. So they put a play on 2-2, and Evans fouled it off. He's a big man, but he is really considered the best Red Sox base runner.
I tell you, Hernandez way wide, so I guess they're going to take advantage of that, and he had a tremendous jump, of course. Red Sox do not play that kind of baseball. Cat and mouse once again, and Baylor just takes off. I just wonder if he went on his own, Vin.
Well, it's the old story. If you're going to give me something, I'll take it. They're not holding him on.
Because they play station to station, the Red Sox, and wait for the 3-run homer.
2-2 to Dwight Evans. Pop foul, breaking ball back into the seats. You can bet they are counting pitches in the Mets dugout. John McNamara counting runs in the Red Sox dugout.
And just because it is so important, in 12 starts, his average pitches were 124. He's pretty close to that right now. 95.
And we're only in the bottom of the fifth inning, so it doesn't figure he's going to make it. Admittedly, it was 10 years ago, but when we said Baylor is acknowledged as one of the better runners on the Red Sox, if not the best, he once stole 52 bases for Oakland. 2-2. And Evans fouls that away.
Just a contrast as far as the number of pitches. Now that's 96 for Gooden. Hurst in the last 2 innings, he threw 21 pitches and 19 of them for strikes. So when you talk about in command and not in command.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Dwight Evans. Gedman on deck. Rice already in with a run. 3-0 Boston. Again, Evans with something in his eye.
Well, you wonder if it is or whatever. He's having some problems. But what that does to the infield, they get up and then they get down, they get up and they get down, and it's tough to see the good play made behind a pitcher when all this is going on. Now Gooden's going to walk around a while, and the spring goes out of the infielder's legs. I mean, Knight is over there. He's taking his glove off at third base for just a minute.
And that wind straightening the flag out in center field. It's really blowing out to right. Curveball hit to left, deep, and foul. With that wind blowing, any ball hitting that corner has a chance to wind up fair. But Dewey pulled it too much. Remember the ball that Rice hit that was wind blown off the wall in front of the Red Sox bullpen.
If Dewey Evans was paying for this commercial prime time, he would be costing him a fortune. He's been up there over 6 minutes.
Somebody's happy about that foul ball. 2-2 to Dwight. And he throws high for ball 3. Gooden has 3 strikeouts. That's all. Struck out Baylor on curveballs. Struck out Henderson on a curveball. Bug out on a fastball, but he is not blowing nearly as hard now as he was the first couple of innings.
The gun shows that his fastball, the velocity has gone down, and that was a high curveball. That is really dangerous.
3-2, so Baylor with Hernandez on the bag now for the first time. Baylor going, and a ground ball to the hole. Base hit into left field, and Baylor on his way to third, and Mookie throws it back into second. And still nobody out. Well, they're going to bring in Sid Fernandez, and I'll tell you what, you've got to figure the Mets are in a lot of trouble. They are trailing 3-0 in the fifth. Johnson is bringing in a man he did not want to use at Fenway Park, Sid Fernandez, and Game 6 they go against Roger Clemens.
And the scouting report is to run on the Met outfielders, Wilson, Dykstra, and Strawberry, and you saw Baylor do that.
So Dwight Gooden, for the second time in the series, leaves, and we'll be back. Empty here in the fifth inning. So Gooden is gone, and Sid Fernandez coming in. Fernandez in the Gooden game in New York did not retire a batter and gave up 3 hits. Gedman popped to short, fly to center. You have Evans at first, Baylor at third. A run in the bank, 3-0 Boston. Sidearm him with a fastball, 0-2. Gedman with a chance to really lighten the load for Bruce Hurst. Trying to pick up Baylor at third. Got him. So Gedman can't do it. He strikes out. And the batter now will be Henderson.
Fernandez can get his strikeouts. Very deceptive. His fastball a little bit quicker than it really appears, and he just went to work on 3 pitches, and he gets Gedman. And that's what he had to do to set up the double play. He's got a double play man up there if he can get the ground ball. That's obviously what he's thinking.
Henderson had a key shot up the alley in right center. Strawberry a late jump and then couldn't cut it off. And Dave then scored on the fly ball by On. Last time up, he struck out on curveballs. He's a fastball hitter, so let's see what Sid Fernandez does with him. 4-1.
With the shot, you saw that ball behind Fernandez many times when as we see Baylor at third, and we got Evans at first. When they grip it across the seams, that's a high riding fastball.
Tried to change up on him. Ball 2-0. Straight change.
Doesn't necessarily mean because he's got it back there like that that's the way it's going to be when he gets it in the glove, but that would be the grip for the high riding fastball.
2-0. Foul back. 2-1. Everybody blowing on his hands now. Henderson 1 for 2. On deck, Spike On, who had a fly ball good enough for an RBI in the second inning. 3-0 Boston, trying for more in the fifth inning. A shot by the inside of Ray Knight and in the corner. Baylor scores. Evans to third. Into second goes Henderson. 4-0 Boston. Charged to Fernandez. The run is charged to Gooden. That's 4. And Rice is still on Baylor's case over that broken bat single.
He's saying a big guy like you hit that little flare.
Baylor's probably saying, hey, it ain't fishing. You don't throw the little ones back.
That's right. But You see, he's the judge, and when they have that kangaroo court, Baylor is, and the man who has to carry out the fines is Rice. So you're going to pay him if Baylor says so, and Rice makes sure.
Well, the infield is up, and here's Spike Owens, second and third. 1 out, 4-0 Boston, trying to break it open. Ball 1.
They're really in tight. They're in 2 steps on the grass.
Owen hitting right-handed. When he was batting left-handed against Gooden, that's when he got that fly ball in the RBI.
Looks like a softball defense.
1-0. In there. So the Sox, who were struggling with the bat, they had 2 runs and 7 hits last night, 1 run and 5 hits the night before, have come back tonight with 4 runs and 10 hits, including 2 triples and a double. Spike is a better hitter from this side of the plate. 1-2. Mel Stottlemyre and Davy Johnson, I'm sure, getting that somewhat sinking feeling. From 1-0 to 2-0 to 4-0, and the Sox with 1 out, not through yet. Two and 2. That's only part of the story. You really need asterisk and footnote. That one error is just a portion of the story. Two and 2 to Spike. Henderson at second, Evans at third, 1 out. Fouled away. There's Henderson and there's Evans. And Owen trying to get somebody home. Rene Latchman whispering something now to Dwight Evans.
Gary Carter really checking everything.
2 and 2. And it's punched. A one-hopper smothered by Tuffle. Fakes to the plate and then goes to Hernandez. Good play.
Ball was in tight and really handcuffed him. And Tuffle made a fine play. See how close they are. He was just trying to get a piece of it. Owen was, and look what Tuffle's diving stop. Good play.
Now you have first base open, and Wade Boggs, the batter. Boggs hit back to the box, grounded out, and then singled up the middle in the 4th inning. Ball 1. Marty Barrett on deck.
They don't expect Boggs to pull that ball, so it looks like they'll be throwing him hard stuff because Dykstra's over in left center field.
Fouled away off third, way down the line and upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Tell you, the Mets have been out for a long time. You take that Dewey Evans hour that we had, it really took a lot out of him.
I wonder where Bruce Hurst is right now, whether he's sitting in the dugout or if maybe he went up the runway back towards the warmth of the clubhouse. 1-1. Ball 2. 2-1. Foul back. The question, where is Bruce Hurst? In the dugout or back in the warmth of the clubhouse? The answer, in the dugout. And this has been a pretty long inning. Rice tripled, Baylor singled, Evans singled. That was all for Gooden. And then Gedman struck out, Henderson doubled, and Owen grounded out. He'll be pitching to Hernandez, Carter, and Strawberry in the 6th inning. Check swing and a little foul ball.
This is his favorite count, 2-2. Vin, they just told me that the Red Sox have been batting for over 25 minutes. We've had situation comedies that have been on our network that long.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's not funny for Bruce Hurst. He's been pitching so well for 5 innings. We'll see whether this autumn chill will affect him.
Could be a factor.
Henderson at second, Evans at third. 2 out, 4-0 Boston in the 5th inning. High fly ball into left field. Mookie Wilson says he has it, and the Sox get 2 and leave 2 on 2 singles, a double and a triple, and a big play by Tuffle. At the end of 5, 4-0 Boston, and Hurst goes back to work. Hernandez, Gary Carter, and Darryl Strawberry, top of the 6th inning. The Red Sox 4 and the Mets nothing. Hernandez grounded out with a runner at second and flied to left with runners at first and second. Ball 1 missing with the curve. The wind is blowing from left center straight across to the right field foul line, at least for the moment. Ball 2.
Tell you, he showed me something coming out on the very first pitch with the 4-run lead, trying to get the curveball over. He's going to have to almost try to find the pitches that he had when he was going so well.
2-0 on the corner, 2-1. It up nicely. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Time is called. Unfortunately, I think a youngster got hit, and Hernandez is concerned. I tell you, ball players, reality sets in.
Out, and the batter Gary Carter. 1 hopper flagged by Spike. Carter grounded out and struck out.
You would think it was a base hit, but that's what scouts are for. They position you, and if the pitcher can make you hit that way, you get an easy play from a ball that appeared to be a base hit when it started out.
1 away. Hurst's game against the Mets, he went 8 innings, and then Calvin Schiraldi pitched the 9th. So he blanked the Mets for 8 innings in New York, and he has them by the neck for 5 innings tonight. So that's 13 consecutive scoreless innings for Bruce against the Mets.
And Gary Carter really chased a bad ball. He's backed out of the batter's box, way out there, regrouping, because he knows what he did. He was ahead, 1 ball, no strikes, and he just chased a real bad ball. They've been pitching him outside, the outside part of the plate, off-speed pitches, the fastball. They try to keep it way out there.
People in New York remember that Carter finished the year with a team-high 13-game hitting streak. Ground ball wide at third, didn't come up, but Boggs went down to get it and throws him out. That's a fine play, because you're expecting the ball to come up, and he went right down and picked it.
But he's got that glove. Watch that glove. Now, he roams far to his left. That ball, you would think it would bounce up, but look where that glove is, right down there. And I tell you, he works out, and it's nothing new in the World Series, and he goes out there and works out before everybody else. He's been doing that all year long, and he's made himself a pretty good fielder, and he's really shown it in this World Series.
Fine play by Wade Boggs. 2 out in the 6th. Darryl Strawberry grounded out and singled 1 for 2. Fastball on the outside corner. So Hurst still has that control.
He threw the last time 2 fastballs, got 2 quick strikes, and threw a curveball. Let's see what he does.
Fastball, and it's fouled away. The only walk that Hurst has given up tonight thus far, he gave to Rafael Santana, the number 9 hitter. Reminder, local news coming up next on most of these NBC stations.
See what he does with this pitch, Vin. Last time he got burned with the curveball with 2 strikes. Fastball.
Got him. And Bruce Hurst can go back and sit down again and hope it takes a while before he has to pitch.
Yes.
And Montague said Rabelais. And then Strawberry said Balzac.
I'll tell you. Never mind.
Marty Barrett, 1 ball and no strikes. That's an old line from the Music Man that came to my head. 4-0 Red Sox in the 6th. Hey, they'd appreciate that up here around Harvard.
Now he starts to get a little bit excited. Look at Hernandez come running in to get the youngster out of there. Bill Robinson can't move him, but Hernandez gets him out of there. It's just total frustration.
2-0 to Marty. Walk, grounded out and singled. As a look at ball 3.
That's why it was so rare to see him hit the first pitch, because he's always working pitchers, and that's what you want the guys like Marty Barrett to do. Make them work.
In there. Marty has had a great series. He's hit in all 5 games. Every time you look up, he's either on base or making a good play with the glove. 3-1. 3-2.
And he's been working the count to 3-2. I haven't been keeping track of it, but it seems like every time he's up there, he's hitting the 3-2 pitch. If you're scouting him, you say, hey, he's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
What a great contributor he was to the Red Sox all year. He only missed 3 games. Marty Barrett. High pop fly around the coming in is Keith Hernandez, because the wind is going to almost bring it to him. 1 away. Looking ahead, when the Mets come up in the 7th, they'll have Ray Knight, Kevin Mitchell, and Mookie Wilson. But meanwhile, Buckner and Rice have to hit here in the 6th. Buckner singled in the first inning, was aboard on a big error by Rafael Santana, and eventually scored on a single by Dwight Evans, and grounded out in the 4th inning with runners at 1st and 3rd, and 2 out. 4-1. Sid Fernandez picking up the pieces for Dwight Gooden, who went 4 innings plus, gave up 4 runs and 9 hits. And Taylor working on that bat. He broke his last bat, remember, on that base hit to right. Drive to left, going back on the ball is Mookie in front of the scoreboard to make the play. 2 down. Once again, friends, we remind you we'll be selecting the NBC Miller Lite Player of the Game at the conclusion of this ballgame. Well, here's Rice. Infield single in the first inning, walked in the 3rd, a wind-blown triple that was almost a home run into the Sox bullpen in the 5th. Time. Something down in the right field corner. And it's a beach ball. Running for a touchdown with a beach ball.
Joe Brinkman.
Joe Brinkman. Right. 4-0 Boston, bottom of the 6th, 2 out. John McNamara, still a ways to go. Johnson hoping he can catch up. Big slow curveball for a strike.
That was a beauty.
That took a while to get up there.
Oh, if that wind would have started blowing, I think might have blown it back.
0-2. Fastball got him. So Rice goes down on strikes. Sox are done in the 6th. It's 4-0 Boston. We'll be back after these messages summarized by Bruce Hurst for the 2nd time. He has a string of 14 consecutive scoreless innings against him, and he set sails in the 7th. Ball 1 to Ray Knight.
And
Knight flied to right, hit into a double play.
Then with that pitch, 27 of his last 33 pitches have been for strikes.
1-0. Fastball and Knight late, but it's going to be a tough play for Buckner especially, and the ball lands fair. Picked up by Barrett and holding on. Good play by Ray Knight. As soon as Barrett one-handed the hopper, he held on. And Gedman was right there at the bag to draw a throw.
Watch Buckner give it a good effort. He's not going to get it, and Ray Knight thinks he might have a double, but when he sees Marty Barrett come up with the ball, he stops. And as you pointed out, Gedman's down the line, and that's how you get that put out, Vin, at first base. Look at Gedman sneaking behind the runner.
The heads-up play by Getty just in case. But also Bill Robinson, I think, would have almost blocked and tackled Ray Knight if he tried to go on to second. He came right to the bag to make sure he would stop. All right, Kevin Mitchell robbed of a hit by Boggs and single to right in the 5th inning and drills one into the left field corner, hooking foul. Way to go. So back to first goes Knight. You might remember in the 5th inning it was Mitchell who led off with the single to right. Then Wilson singled and Santana sacrificed, and the Mets trailing only 2-0 had the tying runs at 2nd and 3rd. And maybe the biggest pitch of the night, a borderline fastball, and Dykstra swung and missed for strike 3. Tuffle grounded out, and that was that.
They got him.
Got him, and Buckner dropped the ball. They had him dead to rights.
He was walking off the bag, and kind of like a walk in the park, and Hurst just nonchalantly flipped it over there. What a move he puts on. Look at Knight. Now there it is. That's a pretty good move. Knight doesn't expect it at all. Hands on hips and rips. Look at here.
So it is still 4-0 Boston, and the Mets trying to regroup in the 7th inning. Mitchell followed by Wilson. Good fastball. So he still has plenty left in the tank here in the 7th inning.
You know, the odd thing about that pickoff too, Vin, is Buckner's playing behind Knight. He just kind of walked in there like they were visiting.
They were both walking.
Yeah. Never trust another ball player.
Especially Buckner, who's probably telling him a story at the same time. Ball 1. 1-2 to Kevin Mitchell. To himself.
He really placed that in a tremendous spot, right in on the kneecap, low inside. Watch where it is. If he hits it, he beats it right into the ground.
5 strikeouts for Bruce Hurst and the batter Mookie Wilson. He struck out in the 3rd inning, single to right in the 5th, 1 for 2, and Kevin Mitchell sadder but wiser in the dugout. Fastball and a towering wind-blown fly ball that'll wind up in Evans' territory and in his glove.
He really surrounded that ball, that crosswind. You could see he had a little bit of problem with it. It's swirling.
Put it to him, so with 2 down, the batter will be Rafael Santana, and Bruce Hurst with the ball game firmly in his grasp here in the 7th inning, leading 4-0 and showing no signs of letting up. Santana walked and sacrificed. That's the closest the Mets have been to the game in the 5th inning. Second and third, trailing 2-0. Now it's 4-0. And that's a windblown fly ball. Barrett calling. That's it. So Ray Knight opens up with a single, and they leave him. And at the end of 6 1/2, Sox 4, Mets nothing.
Third here is that the 5th inning. Dykstra against Hurst. Curveball is high. Curveball. It's a strike. Fastball is fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball high and in, and he gets him. What a piece of pitching.
And that's the closest the Mets have been tonight. Slow curveball to Baylor for a strike. 0-1. Baylor hit by a pitch in the 1st inning, struck out in the 3rd, and then a broken bat single to right to cash in Jim Rice in the 5th. Slow curve. 1-1. In all 3 of his plate appearances tonight, Baylor has come up with runners in scoring positions, which indeed is an ideal situation for the DH. 1-1. Fastball.
Now we go to New York, and he becomes, as you call him, the designated sitter.
Yep. And the specter of Roger Clemens looms larger and larger as the outs go by here in Fenway. 1-2. Change hit down the line. Out of here.
And that was McNamara's master plan. If there was going to be that big game, he wanted his big guy.
That's right. They second-guessed John in some quarters, saying he should have tried to really get ahead instead of risking being tied. But as usual, very calm and easy. He said, hey, I've got my best 3 well rested, and Baylor strikes out. Meanwhile, Roger Clemens, and that's Al Nipper with the towel around his neck. Clemens and Nipper like to run before games, and one time this year they ran before a game, came in, and 15 minutes before the game they were taking a shower, laughing and scratching. McNamara threw a laundry cart into the shower stall. I mean, once in a while John will get ticked off.
That's that controlled aggression that Gil Hodges, Gil would look at you and he could melt you just by looking at you. Because the guy doesn't say a lot. Don't ever take that as a sign of weakness.
So here's Evans, fly to left, singled twice, 2 for 3. Slow curve and a number up along third. They better let it roll, and it goes foul. They didn't have a play otherwise.
The only chance that had, if it would have been hit on that grass, and then grass would grab and hold it in, but you can see it's kind of beveled out. Ball club doesn't have a whole lot of speed. Now, if it had a whole lot of speed, that line could be painted with an extra coat. They could tilt that in a little bit. That would have stayed fair. And there are some groundskeepers who are just experts at that.
Game 6, Roger Clemens and Bobby Ojeda at Shea Stadium in New York. There's Bobby Ojeda now. He pitched a gem here to get the Mets even last night. 0-1 to count to Dwight. And there's a hopper down to Santana. He almost let the ball play him again, but this time he gets Evan. 2 down.
You know, Vin, looking at Ojeda, I tell you, I thought he handled himself so well because there were some vicious things said. I know one cartoon here had him, he's going to choke up, and that's a thing I always hate. And I tell you, he handled himself so well, and he said, I have no bittersweet. Hey, I'm with the Mets now. I enjoyed my time here. It's going to be quite a battle.
Here's Rich Gedman. Out in front. He was guessing fastball and got it, and he was still out in front of it. 0-1. Interestingly enough, Gooden went 4 innings plus and struck out 3. Fernandez has worked 2 1/3 and struck out 3. 0-2.
He got Gedman last time on 3 pitches.
And with runners at first and third. He chased a high one around the eyes, but give him 4 strikeouts. And so Fernandez has retired 8 in a row, but it's still 4-0 Boston.
You're downtown, but I got to meet Ricky. All right. I might as well tell you the truth. I'm going to the ball game. You want to go too? Oh, boy! It's a wonderful game. It's a game for the whole family. So let's all forget our worries and have fun at the ball game whenever we can get to one. What do you say? Let's go.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
The Red Sox leading the Mets 4-0 in the 8th inning, and the hopes, if this one is gone, is Bob Ojita's next start at Shea Stadium against Roger Clemens. Dykstra fouling it to the screen. Lenny had a big at-bat tonight, but no miracles. He struck out instead. That was in the 5th inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd. He had singled in the 3rd and grounded out in the 1st. 1 for 3. Then Tuffle, then Hernandez. Down in the Red Sox bullpen, we have now come to that time of the game. Calvin Schiraldi is loosening up just in case they need him. You're in a pretty good spot. You're leading 4-0 with Hurst. You have arrested Schiraldi and looking forward to Clemens.
And that's what John said all along. It hasn't just happened. It's part of his master plan.
0-2 to Dykstra. And he uppercuts that high change. The wind is playing with it, but Owen stays with it. Good play. Tough play under the conditions.
And that's what the shortstop does in this ballpark. He goes out all the time. Even though Rice was playing shallow because of the wall, that wind. Rice lets up here because he sees Spike Owen taking charge, and Spike makes the play. A little tentative. I don't blame him with Rice coming from left field. Wanted to avoid the collision.
Tim Tuffle, a batter, double to right center, and the Mets had a chance to get something going, but they left him at 3rd. Then he flied to left and grounded to 3rd with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 2 out in the 5th after Dykstra had struck out. In there again. 0-2.
Tell you, I've heard scouts and I've heard general managers talk about, forget the statistics, innings pitched, consistency, and what do they do with men at 2nd and 3rd, and how deep do they take the hitters. He rarely goes to a 3-2 count.
And that's it down the right field line, slicing away from Evans. It's got a chance. It's gone. A home run into the right field seats by Tim Tuffle. And that makes it Red Sox 4, Mets 1.
And Hurst was really disgusted with himself as he came off the mound. That ball was well hit. Make no mistake about it. The wind may have drifted it over there, but that was well hit.
So Tuffle with a double to right center and a home run to right. He has 4 hits against Hurst in their meetings. Take another look.
That wind takes it, but it's in there pretty good. It just doesn't sneak in there.
So 4-1 in favor of Boston, and the batter is Hernandez. 0 for 3. Grounded to 2nd, flied to left, grounded to short. Right. So 7 and 8, 15 and a 3rd scoreless innings, and the bubble bursts for Hurst. He gives up his first run to New York. The largest crowd of the 3 games here tonight, and that figures since this is the last game of the year at Fenway. 34,010.
Then we've talked about the radar gun almost all year and how effective it is and so forth and so on. If that ball doesn't move, you're in trouble. That ball Tuffle hit was the fastest pitch that Hurst made, 89 miles per hour, and ended up in the seats.
0-2. And that's going to be looped into right field for a base hit. So suddenly the Mets are trying to get their second look at the game. The first one was in the 5th inning, and now maybe here in the 8th as Gary Carter comes up. John McNamara, as we said, is in a good position. He has Schiraldi in the pen. And here is Carter. Grounded to 2nd, struck out, grounded to 3rd, 0 for 3.
As always, but especially in the World Series, 6 toughest outs.
1 out in the 8th. 4-1 Boston. They just keep pitching him away, and he keeps either taking for a strike or lunging.
Just keep that ball away from him. That's what they've been doing.
0-1. Evans gives him just about all of right field. Henderson shaded to left center. So they're playing him to pull and keeping the ball away at the same time. Now working the dirt. 1-1. On deck, and it is certainly a consideration with the wind blowing out to right field, Darryl Strawberry. And of course 4-1 in this situation. Strawberry represents the potential tying run. One ball, one strike. Big curveball, and he was frozen at the plate. Boy, you look at a rabbit looking in a car's headlights. He was absolutely frozen by it.
When he starts that big curveball, I mean, it is a big rainbow curveball. High. Look at the rotation on it. As a kid, you call that a drop.
Let's see if it's fastball away. Fastball inside in case he was looking away.
Here's his pitch of decision, 2-2. He used that to set it up because he's got it in Gary Carter's mind now. He can come back with that slow curveball or that fastball away.
2-2. One out. Fastball, and he just got a piece of it, and I think it was a split finger because that seemed to sink.
Well, he was looking for the ground ball, and that bottom kind of dropped out of there.
McNamara patiently watching. Giraldi is ready if they need him now. Fastball away, hit off the end of the stick. Fielded by Barrett to get him. And down to second base goes Keith Hernandez. So the split-fingered fastball takes care of Gary Carter, and he kept it outside, and all Gary could do is hit it off the end of the stick. So 2 down, a big out. That takes a lot of heat off Hurst, and it brings up Darryl Strawberry.
And remember, the last time up there, he was called out on strikes and had some words with Montague, and Hernandez had to move him away. And there's Hernandez trying to move him away.
And now Strawberry is trying to get Hernandez home. He is 1 for 3. Curveball.
He's just not sure of that pitch.
He grounded out in the second, singled in the fourth, and struck out, called out in the 6th inning. 1-1. Fastball.
Slow curveball and the fastball, boy. He really gives a catcher the luxury of
And now everybody up at Fenway, and I mean everybody. No swing, ball 1. They check with Jim Evans at third. 1-2, and the crowd stays up and at him. Fastball fouled away, and the guessing game continues.
He bot-headed by him.
4-1 Red Sox. Top of the 8th, 2 out. Hernandez at second. 1-2 to Strawberry, and Ray Knight on deck. Two and two. Just to keep him honest with that high inside fastball.
Remember, he did that to Carter, 2-2. That's his pitch of decision. He very rarely goes deep. 3-2.
Slow curve, popped up off third. Boggs coming over to get it. He's got it. One run, 2 hits, and Bruce Bruce Hurst is 3 outs away from giving the Red Sox a lead 3-2. Singing Darryl, Darryl. Strawberry has had a tough time. When he struck out in the 6th inning, incensed and argued with Ed Montague, and there was Hernandez. And when he fouled out to Boggs, there was Hernandez again, trying to console, trying to keep him in the game. It's a tough time for any kid, and especially now as he stands naked under the world out there in right field, and they taunt him and they chant his name.
He takes his cap off and reacts to it. It's just been a tough time.
I tell you, it's a tough business. Bruce Hurst, meanwhile, not only got the outs in the 8th inning, I believe he is finished for the night. He shook hands all around with all of his teammates, got a towel and a windbreaker, put it on, and left the dugout. I have a feeling he might have concluded his work in the 8th. It remains to be seen, but there he goes, perhaps annoyed that he's not allowed to go 9. Meanwhile, in the 8th, Dave Henderson, ball 1. And the chant continues, the taunt of Strawberry. Do you think maybe in Shea Stadium they'll start hollering Dwight?
Well, I just hope that I just hate to see that happen to a youngster with that kind of potential.
2-1. Of course, it's all part of the maturing process. Strawberry's only 24. Dave Henderson had a big night. A double and a triple. Struck out in the 4th inning. Sid Fernandez trying to get him. 2-2.
It won't do much to Dwight Evans. He's been around. It'll be like water off the duck's back.
They couldn't sing to Jim Evans. To Jim Rice or to Dave Henderson. Yeah, it's kind of lonely out there in right field. Hendu 2 for 3. 2-2 the count. High fly ball to Strawberry. Wind blowing it. 1 away. Boy, they're really on his case. Oh. Well, I tell you what, if you don't want to live in a goldfish bowl, you better not be a big league ball player.
No.
Here's Owen. Had a scoring fly ball, struck out and grounded out. 0 for 3.
Somebody say, well, I don't pay much attention to that. Oh, yeah.
I never hear the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
One ball, no strikes. Pretty good fastball there. A lot of movement on it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Game 6 is just around the corner. Shea Stadium. Bobby Ojeda and Roger Clemens, who must loom like the Colossus of Rhodes right now in the minds of the Mets, and come to think of it, in the minds and hearts of the Red Sox. 1-1. Bunt foul. 1-2.
You think about that Clemens, he's just an ordinary pitcher with a 150-mile-an-hour fastball.
Long night for Davy Johnson. 4 runs, 10 hits for the Red Sox. 1 run, 8 hits. 1 error and a big one caused a run for the Mets. There's Clemens waiting for his next shot. Game 6. One and 2. Slow curveball. So all of a sudden, Sid Fernandez, 5 strikeouts, and the batter will be Wade Boggs. But Fernandez has quieted the Red Sox, but he can't do anything about the scoreboard. Well, The folks at Shea never had a chance to make much noise. The folks at Fenway had their only real opportunity tonight, and they're making the most of it. The battle of the decibels will continue in Game 6. Wade Boggs 0 for 2, then single to center. Last time up, fly to left. Right. They're playing Boggs to go the other way. The infield is swung around. Hernandez is almost in the hole between first and second. He's so far away from the bag. Now back. Dykstra is over into left center. And Hernandez with the count 0-2.
The only pitch he'll be able to pull is something slow, breaking ball. If it's a fastball, he'll go the other way.
2 down in the 8th. 4-1 Red Sox. Foul back. Ray Knight, Kevin Mitchell, and Mookie Wilson are due up. Particularly Mitchell, because we're not sure whether Schiraldi will be pitching the 9th inning or Hurst. I have a feeling it'll be Schiraldi. Fastball fouled away again.
One time this summer, I forget who the umpire was, he said to Boggs when he walked up to hit, why don't we just make the count 2-2 and we'll save all those baseballs because you're going to foul off about 9 of them.
Well, it's 0-2 right now. High fly ball down the left field line. Mookie wedged in there, and the ball is back in the seats. Hernandez has retired the last 10 in a row. He came in and gave up a base hit to Henderson. He got Owen and Boggs, retired the side in the 6th, retired the side in the 7th, and he's gotten the first 2 in the 8th. There is Schiraldi, warm in the bullpen. You talk about a ball eating up a second baseman. That took a bite out of Tim Tuffle's left ankle. Oh, did that hurt.
That was a knuckleball. He hit, the pitch was a fastball, but it went out there like a knuckleball. He's got the glove down and hit him right on the ankle. And I mean, he's more embarrassed than hurt right now. But I tell you something, that thing really knuckled out there. And whew, that's all you can say. It ate him up. It got to be hurting him, but he is just embarrassed. And I tell you, that thing really knuckled out there.
Wade Boggs with topspin. The good hitters do that. They hit that sinking line drive. And 1 minute Tuffle thought he had a play, and the next thing it hit him on the ankle. It will go as a base hit.
It should go as a base hit. That was really a tough chance.
They talk about too hot and too hard to handle. That was a perfect example. And here is Marty Barrett. And he drives it to the wall. Back goes Mookie. It's going to be off the scoreboard. Boggs will stop at third on a double by Marty Barrett.
There he is again. He keeps it going. 2 outs. And the big guys are up there.
So the line drive that eats up Tim Tuffle. Now Barrett doubles off the scoreboard.
And when it hits that scoreboard, it's liable to go anyway, but Mookie once again plays it well. Santana's out there. They don't use double cutoffs because it's so shallow. But once again, Barrett right in the middle of it.
Well, Bill Buckner comes up. He singled to center, was aboard on Santana's error, and scored in the 3rd. Grounded out in the 4th, flied to left in the 6th. Buckner again finding runners in scoring position. Almost every at-bat, it looks like he has somebody there. And he's only delivered twice in like 20 scoring position situations. Ball 1. One ball and no strikes. 4-1 Red Sox trying to open it up. 2 out, remember. Ball 2. On deck, Jim Rice. Rice has a walk, a single, and a triple tonight. Johnson running out of time. Two balls, no strikes. High fly ball, curling foul down the right field line and well back into the crowd of 34,010. So John McNamara 3 outs away from getting an edge, 3 games to 2, and then he plays his ace at Shea. But John still has a decision to make, although I think he's already made it, concerning whether Hurst or Schiraldi pitches the 9th inning. For the Mets, they might be much more so in the game had they played a good defensive game. Little pop foul off third. Ray Knight is there. And the Sox leave runners at second and third. And the Mets are still in the game. 4-1 Boston. The question has been answered. Bruce Hurst, who is bundled up and appeared to be leaving the dugout, has come back. He's on the mound, and Calvin Schiraldi is at the ready in the bullpen. Ray Knight, the batter.
Last 5 innings, 48 strikes and 10 balls for Hurst.
And Dave Stapleton at first base for Bill Buckner. Ground ball to Boggs, and the Sox are 2 outs away. The crowd looking for the last 2 outs of the 1986 season at Fenway Park. The batter is Kevin Mitchell. Robbed of a hit by Boggs, single to right, and struck out on a curveball in the 7th inning. Ball 1. On deck, Mookie Wilson. Fastball popped up. Now let's see. Who is it? Stapleton is calling. The Sox are 1 out away. Everybody up. And some are down. He has been magnificent tonight. The only run, a home run to right field by Tim Tupple. Mookie has struck out, singled, and flied to right. Strike. The fans with a chance to say goodbye to their ball club, and New York waiting to say hello. Foul ball. (4-1) Red Sox. 2 out in the 9th. 0-2 to Mookie Wilson. One and two. Curveball whacked into the left field corner, and it's a base hit. Rice playing the carom. Mookie on his way for 2 in there easily. So a 2-out double by Mookie Wilson will bring up Rafael Santana. That is the 9th hit given up by Bruce Hurst, but only 1 run. Have left 7 men tonight. The Red Sox left another 11. Ball 1. On deck, Lenny Dyke. Dykstra. And it's hit to the hole, base hit to right. Here comes Mookie, and Evans won't even go after him. He'll throw the ball into Marty Barrett, and suddenly, and wouldn't you know, for the umpteenth time, the little man becomes a big man. Lenny Dykstra representing the tying run.
He's been able to handle him, but again, big base hit has come from this little guy, and McNamara turning now.
However, the biggest moment for Dykstra tonight turned sour. With runners at second and third and one out, remember, he struck out on a high fastball. That's when the score was 2-0. Check swing on a curve right into the Mets dugout.
And that's the way he started him last time, was curve, curve, fastball, fastball.
0-1. So a 2-out double by Wilson, a single by Santana for a run. And Hurst now 0-1 on Dykstra. Let's go Bruce is the chant. And he bunched the curve foul and the count 0-2. And again the Mets are down to their last strike. Oil Can Boyd talking to Buckner on one side, Nipper on the other. He would be the 7-game pitcher against Ron Darling, whom you just saw, if there is a 7th game.
The pattern followed then. 2 curveballs, although Dykstra didn't bunt the last time, then he went to the fastball. Hurst did. Let's see what happens.
0-2. Fastball high, and he chased it again. There are no miracles in Boston tonight for Lenny Dykstra. And Bruce Hurst is the winner. The Red Sox win it 4-2. They now have a 3-2 advantage. And Game 6, Roger Clemens and Bobby Ojeda with Society. So the winner in Game 1 win Game 5. Let's meet him and go to Marv Albert.
Thank you, Vin. And here is the man of the hour, Bruce Hurst. Was there anything in particular said before tonight's ball game after losing 2 straight here at Fenway?
Matt called a little meeting and just told us, we'd worked hard all year. We'd been at our backs to the wall, and he said that he'd taken some criticism over the way things had worked out in the way during the pitching staff, but he felt like he was where he wanted to be. And we had to go out and have some fun and play hard and just play tonight's game the best we could, and that's what we did.
As the crowd chants, Bruce, how do you explain the fact that lefties usually have a terrible time here at Fenway, and you have mastered this ballpark? 8-3 during the course of the regular season, 4 shutouts.
Well, I think that Ron Darling said it best yesterday. I listened to an interview of his. He said that Stottlemyre said that when he pitched here, he used to pitch away, and he used to get beat around. Then he decided just to pitch his own game and do what he felt like he had to do to win. He had success here, and that's basically the way you have to pitch in Fenway Park. You can't be intimidated by the wall or the configuration of the ballpark. Just pitch your game. Don't be afraid to go inside. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, and you'll do all right.
Bruce, in game number 1 at Shea, you went to the plate 3 times, struck out 3 times. Any regrets about not getting to the plate here tonight?
None whatsoever, especially off the white. I was more than happy to have the DH in this ballpark, but it's a great win for us.
Okay, Bruce, congratulations.
Thank you, Marv. Appreciate it.
All right, let's get back upstairs to Vin and Joe.
A reminder for you folks to stay tuned following stations where it will be seen at its regular time. And so Game 6, Bobby Ojeda and Roger Clemens, Saturday night at Shea. And there will be a lot of emotions there as Darryl Strawberry and the rest of the New York Mets try to gather and fight back and stay alive. It should be something, Joe.
It should be, Vin. It's the way McNamara planned it.